prayers? Yeah. Yeah, I'll do some opening. Yeah, great. Perfect.
I'll tell you what, I'll wait for my new my Torah till we'll do it after Kaddish line.
Good.
Since we're not doing this in here, doing it in the
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Well, you may, just so we let you know, you may not see a Kiddush cup over here. We're going to do Kiddush in the Sukkah tonight afterwards. So we'll conclude and we'll kind of mosey on out into the Sukkah. I know that might be a little hard for you all, but we'll see if we can do it or not. It will help you if you need. And we have Kiddush cups there and a little challah, so we can be able to do the mitzvah of being in the Sukkah for Sukkot, because it is Sukkot still.
You know what's another mitzvah of being in the sukkah?
What's another mitzvah?
It's not 100 degrees.
Yes, correct. I can't vouch about the mosquitoes at this point, but that is correct. It is not 100 degrees. Fall has fallen. At least that's what it sounds like here. Is this fall? You guys you know this. Is this fall? Is this as fall as it gets? Fall only temporary? Yeah, it's going to get hot again. Right. So enjoy the day of fall. Okay, got it. Well, we're going to enjoy Shabbat as well. So we'll begin with just a little nigun, just to kind of get us into the mood for our Shabbat worship. But let me let you know, as Cantor is playing, it's a little strange kind of quirk of our tradition that you would think that we're in such a happy mood with a holiday and with Shabbat that we do a full service. We actually don't. The custom is to truncate, to make a little bit smaller the Friday night service. All of those psalms we're used to doing, we actually don't do. How about that for you? So we're going to follow that guidance that we always do, the traditional way of doing things. My understanding is, for me, that the interpretation is that we're already in such a great mood because it's such a wonderful experience coming from a holiday into a Shabbat that we don't need all that stuff to get us going, right? That's just one explanation. Cantor can probably share a few others that might make sense as well. But so you're going to see we're going to be a little shorter than usual. I've already warned you guys, but we'll be a little shorter than we might normally be, and that's following tradition. So just so you know why we are doing what we're doing tonight. So you will find the beginning of our service on absolutely no page. Did I get that right, or do you?
Absolutely no page.
No page. So follow along with the cantor.
And it requires absolutely no words.
Oh, good.
But it does require some melody. The melody of your heart. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Your turn now. Sounds good. Ya la 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 la. Let's all sing together. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Faster now. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Your turn now. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la la Shabbat Shalom. Wave to them behind you, in front of them. You can even wave to us. We'll wave back. We're friendly.
Shabbat Shalom and a Chag Sameach. We turn over to page 5. There you'll find Shalom Aleichem, our hymn that welcomes in the Sabbath angels into our midst. Get us spiritually ready for Shabbat. Page 5 at the bottom.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. We sing it on line. Yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la la, yai la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la.
For Shabbat, as we turn in our Siddur back to page 4, there you'll find the blessing for the candles, again for Shabbat. We rise, if you're able to, as we kindle the lights.
Yai la 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 la, 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 yai la 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 la. Yai lai lai la lai, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner. Vetzivanu, Vetzivanu, lehadlik ner. Vetzivanu, Vetzivanu, lehadlik ner. Shel Shabbat. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
You may be seated.
Oh, by the way, when the candles are lit in my house, we always give hugs and kisses. So if you want to give people next to you a big hug and a kiss, or you can blow a kiss, whatever
There
you like. It's nice to welcome in the Shabbat together, isn't it?
We turned very briefly to page 26, and there you'll find, you'll see at the top of the page, Nichum Avelim. The Shapiro family is here, and they said farewell to their beloved Ed this afternoon, this morning actually, and they're here to be able to say Kaddish and certainly to be with our community. So there's a tradition on Friday evening when a family in mourning walks into the synagogue or comes in for the evening service that we recite the words on the top of the page, again on page 26 under the Aleph. That is just to offer words of comfort. Even as we celebrate Shabbat, we certainly embrace our community and those who are in need. So we join together on the top of 26 under the Aleph, and you can find it in the transliteration on the left side in the red as well. Hamakom Yenachem Etchem B'toch She'ar Avalei Tzion B'Yerushalayim. May the divine comfort you, along with all the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We turn over to page 27. There you'll find our psalm for Shabbat. Every day has a psalm associated with it. This is our psalm for Shabbat. It is on page 27. It is the 92nd psalm.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Try it. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mizmor shir yom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai. Mizmor shir yom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai. L'zamer l'shimcha elyon, להגיד בבוקר חסדך. ולזמר לשמחה, לזמר לשמחה, לשמך עליון. לי, 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 לי. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la la.
We conclude the psalm on page 28, Sadiq Katamar, by the little arrow, as we recognize the righteous flourish like a date palm and thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Perfect imagery for our Sukkot, our harvest holiday. Page 28.
Tzadik katamar yifrach yifrach, Tzadik katamar yifrach, Tzadik katamar yifrach yifrach, Tzadik katamar yifrach. Ke'erez balvanon yiske, Ke'erez balvanon yiske, Ke'erez balvanon yiske, Ke'erez balvanon yiske. Eres balvanon yiske, ke eres balvanon yiske yiske.
V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudisha b'reichu, le'ela, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. If you're standing, please remain standing, and if not, if you'll rise as we turn over to the beginning of our evening service. You'll find it on page 39A. 39A, you'll find the Baruch Hu as we begin this evening, this next day of Sukkot, and our Shabbat together, page 39A.
Now you're going to hear some different melodies tonight. Why? Because of the holiday. The reasoning is Shabbat is such a lady that she bows out to the festival. So if you're not accustomed to the three pilgrimage festival melody, right? Sukkot, Passover, and Shavuot. By the end of tonight, you'll be pros. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Leolam va'ed.
You may be seated. We read together the English on the bottom left side of 39A, our first bracha before the Shabbat, our bracha of creation. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. In the little arrow on 39a on the right, Umavir Yom.
Umavir Yom, Umevi Laila, Umavdil, Ben Yom Uven Laila, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamarev, Aravev.
Page 40, you'll find Ahavat Olam as we join together.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahaveta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Akein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shofreinu u'v'kumeinu, nasiach bechukecha. ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, אורך ימינו. ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. ועבדך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
41.
שמע ישראל, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לראות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזו ביניך, ובישרהו.
We read the English together on the left side of the page on 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. We continue over on page 44. In the bold print, you'll find the words Mi Chamocha, our hymn, our song that welcomes our freedom from Egypt. We sang these words as we crossed the Red Sea and tasted the freedom from slavery. Page 44.
All right, we're going to begin it with some clapping together. Join me on that. Come on. You got it? Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Let's add some words. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehidar b'kodesh nora tehilo, osef ele. Ora tehilo, osef ele. Malechuticha ra'u vanecha, ukeayam lifnei Moshe. Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai imo le'olam va'oed, Adonai imo le'olam va'oed. Back to lie, 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 la, 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 lie, 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 la, 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 lie. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la.
We turn over to page 45. There you'll find Hashkivenu. By the way, I like that melody. That's a fun one. Page 45, you'll find Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu is our prayer that asks for shalom as we end our day, as we prepare to go to sleep at night and wake up, we hope, to a brighter day. And you'll notice as we go through, it talks about our canopy of peace. The Hebrew is sukkah shalomecha. It's the word sukkah, meaning we recognize that peace is fleeting. It can be very flimsy unless we support it, unless we work towards it. Just like our sukkah. Our sukkah is not a permanent thing. It's a temporary dwelling. So is shalom if we don't cultivate and work for it each and every day of our lives. So we read together in the English the Hashkivenu prayer on 45 on the left. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. Page 45 in the Hebrew.
Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Join me. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Yalalai, 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 yalalai. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, leshalom, leshalom. That's your part. Hamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Leshalom together Leshalom Uferos Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Leshalom Leshalom V'takeneinu b'tzah tova milfanecha Leshalom, leshalom, leshalom. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Yalalai, 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 yalalai.
It's meant to be a lullaby. Hashkivenu originally was the prayer that we recited on our beds as we were getting ready to go to sleep, literally. So there are many, many beautiful tunes for Hashkivenu, and that was one of them that kind of transports you into that mood, as though you're laying in bed, getting ready to the quiet of the night, and ready to end your day and go to sleep. So it's a beautiful, beautiful melody. Page 46, we're going to contrast that with something very different. As we rise, we pause to sanctify Shabbat with Vishamru, as we always do. We will continue after Vishamru straight to Chatzi Kaddish. I know there's a line there that says on festivals, that's only when it's actually Yontiv. For Chol HaMoed, for our middle of the holiday, we don't add that verse. But page 46, we do join together as we remind ourselves of the covenant we share with God through the observance of Shabbat. Page 46.
All right, everyone, join me. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam v'ridolam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam v'ridolam Bein Yuvein b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Oti le'olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Le'dorotam v'ridolam Ki shechet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ridolam. Together, Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ridolam. Chatzi Kaddish, the middle of 46. Yitkata v'yitkara shmei Rabbah
Amen.
Al yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechonu v'yomei Ufchayerecho Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, V'imeru Amen, Yehishmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam U'Lalmei Amaya,
Yitbarach.
Yibara v'yishtabach, v'yivhar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalol, shemei dekudesha.
Verichu.
V'yela mikol v'chata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechemata, damihiram b'yomah.
You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening beginning on page 46, or 47 rather, through 52. We add the paragraph on page 50 for Chol HaMoed for Sukkot in the middle of page 50. As always, when you're through, feel free to be seated. And of course, do not rush, take your time. page 51 in the middle, you'll find Shalom Rav, our tefillah for peace. End of the Amidah. 51.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Together. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech hador bechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hador bechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'yinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit ubechol sham yishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim
Page 173, if you'll turn forward in your Siddur, there you'll find our special Misha Baruch for healing. We're taught to add our own personal thoughts and meditations to the words of the Amidah, to the words that are on the page. And here's where we always add a special prayer for those who are in need of healing in our world that certainly is in need of healing. So as we sing on page 173, the far left side in the small print, the Debbie Friedman Misha Baruch, we think of people that are in need of physical, spiritual, emotional healing, and we think of our world as we seek to bring peace and shalom to it and wholeness. Page 173.
Avotenu mikor Abraham avotenu. Bless, may the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishabeirach limotenu mekor habraham
page 54, there you'll find Kaddish Shalem as Cantor leads us. 54.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה.
Amen.
וילמד דברי וימליך מלכותי. וחיי חון ויומי חון. וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בזמן הקריב ימרו.
Amen.
יהי שמי רבם מבורך. לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך. יברך וישתבח ויתברך ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה. בריחו ליהי למקומך ושירתו. תושבחתה ורחמתו. דמירן ועמה וימרו. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים. עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו.
Amen.
עושה שלום מרומיו הוא יעשה שלום. עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו.
We take a pause here for just a moment, and if you turn the page, you will see that we have our Kiddush. We are going to, if you walked in just a minute late, I know I said at the very beginning, we are going to do our Kiddush, and Motzi is the custom in the Sukkah tonight. So we will follow out at the end of the service, and that's where we traditionally do Kiddush for Shabbat and for this holiday of Sukkot in the Sukkah. So we'll do that in just a moment. Talking about the Sukkah, there is a custom called Ushpizin. It's one of our fun words in our language, Ushpizin. And it's a custom on Sukkot in which we invite people into the Sukkah. Now you might say, okay, that's fun. If you build a Sukkah, you certainly want people to come and be able to enjoy it. We build a beautiful big Sukkah here. We're going to go out and enjoy it for the evening for a little bit. But there's this custom of inviting not just friends and family that are nearby, but our ancient ancestors. We invoke the names of our ancient ancestors as if they were joining us in the Sukkah. So there's a custom, again, of welcoming in Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, and some of our other names like Moses and David and Devorah. And we imagine having a meal with them. Can you imagine sitting down in the Sukkah as our honored guests and enjoying time with them? And I always challenge our teenagers in particular. You might get a little bit of this weekend. What would you say? What kind of conversation would you have with Moses? Be pretty interesting. Or how about Abraham? Or any of our figures that come from Jewish history. So this is a story about Shlomo, who was a learned man, but often asked for advice on matters ranging from how to prepare foods properly to how to settle an argument. Shlomo was not one of our great ancestors. I'll let you know that right now. But instead of being pleased that he was so respected, which he was, Shlomo resented the many interruptions by people needing him. They kept him from his studies, which he believed were far more important than people's questions. One day a woman came to Shlomo's study holding a chicken. "Has it been killed properly?" she asked. In other words, was it killed in a kosher way so that you could eat it? "Out of here," Shlomo shouted. Alone in his room, he prayed that he be left alone to pursue his work. No one came to see him, and he was very happy. When the high holy days came, Shlomo fasted and he prayed harder than anyone else in the village. Right after Yom Kippur, he asked some of his neighbors, "What do we do right at the end of Yom Kippur?" "Well, of course, we need to put up our sukkah." So he asked some of his neighbors to come and help him build a sukkah. In his village, the custom was for people to build Sukkot together. But since God had granted Shlomo's prayer to be left alone, no one helped him. "Very well," he said, "I'll build it myself." So he got out some wood and nails and built his sukkah. The first night he entered his sukkah alone because he had not invited anyone in the village. Of course, he did invite Abraham and Sarah to enter. There's a debate on whether they actually came. But they wouldn't come in, so the story goes. The patriarchs and the matriarchs then said to Shlomo, "We can't come into a sukkah where no one else is welcome." At once Shlomo realized that rituals and prayers are quite meaningless unless you understand their lesson and their meaning. Shlomo had missed the whole point of the holiday of Sukkot. Sukkot is a time for being together, for inviting friends and family into the sukkah, for asking those in need to join with us. The sukkah is a symbol of just how fragile life is. And Shlomo had forgotten that message. He prayed, he asked for forgiveness. More importantly, he took the time to welcome in his neighbors to his sukkah. And Shlomo learned just how joyous Sukkot could really be. It's a lovely story, but it gives us the themes and the ideas of what Sukkot really is about for us. It is a time of joy. We rise up from the spiritual intensity of Yom Kippur, and we focus on Zman Simchatenu, a time of joy, of revelry, of enjoying, of giving thanks for the harvest, and for us today, certainly the ability to give thanks for the gifts that surround us, both the physical and the spiritual. And that's truly the message of Sukkot. So I invite you as we go into the sukkah tonight, if you have a sukkah at home and you're going into or visiting anyone else's or using ours here through the rest of the holiday, through the weekend, for an opportunity tomorrow to come and be in the sukkah again. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi in the sukkah tomorrow morning after the service, and we'll do our Torah Talk study in the sukkah tomorrow. Sunday morning, our kids will be in there, be able to have the opportunity to do that. The lulav and etrog is available to shake and wave on Sunday for anyone who wants as part of Minyan. So as you do the last few days, as we go through the last few days of Sukkot, think about who would be your invisible guests. How would you extend the mitzvah of Haknasat Orchim, of welcoming in guests to your home, to your sukkah? And what kind of conversations would you have, especially with those mystical characters, those wonderful ancestors of ours? What would you say and how would you say it? And what would it be for you to have an experience with those? Keep that in mind as, again, the last few days of Sukkot go forward. But we're going to continue with our service on page 56 as we rise for Aleinu. Again, we will have the opportunity to feel the spirit of the sukkah in just a few minutes. Page 56, we rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו כחבונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נותן שלום על כן נקווה לך אדוני אלוהינו ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. As we prepare to recite our Mourner's Kaddish, we extend our condolences, as I mentioned earlier, to the extended Shapiro family, and especially to Ida Rose, who I know is in the back there, on the death of Edwin Shapiro. And we know we're here with you to give you hugs of support during this time. And as you continue to share memories with your family, with friends, and the influence that Ed had in your lives and in the life of the community. We also mention the names of those who continue through the Shloshim period and onward. Martha Rabinowitz, we remember Martha Rabinowitz, wife of Bernard Rabinowitz. We remember Bess Greenstein, Ruth Friedberg, mother of Michael Friedberg, and Carolyn Devon, sister-in-law of Bernice Mazer. We also mention the names of those whose yortzites occur today and the week that is coming. Max Arno, Jacob Bahar, Jack Bernstein, Sarah Hahn Brown, Molly Cohn, Louis Estman, Alvin Sanford Fries, Herman Jacob Fries, Charlie H. Gorinsky, Charles H. Gorinsky, Israel Hirsch Hahn, Julius Hirschberg, Celia Cantor, Brenda Karch, Janice Levine Music, Ethel Noble, Winifred Ozer, Inez Pullen, Sarah S. Rausch, Ray Rabinowitz, William Silva, and Samuel Jackson Taylor. Those reciting Kadisha Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, if you'll rise and join with me, and certainly if there are any names I did not recite out loud, hope you will keep them in your hearts. As those reciting Mourner's Kaddish, you'll find it on page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach chirutei v'amlich malchutei V'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam olomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. You may be seated, and know many of you got the email today about the death of Cynthia Schulman, sister of Renee Glazer and aunt of Elizabeth Glazer. We certainly extend our condolences to them. The funeral will be on Sunday, so we don't recite Kaddish for her yet, but I know Renee is on her way, heading up to the Northeast, to Boston area, and I know that as soon as she returns, and even from far away, would appreciate our hugs of support as she mourns the loss of her sister, and Elizabeth as she mourns the loss of her aunt. So keep them in mind and in your thoughts on Sunday in particular. We turn over to page 59, a little out of order, but we will add our special psalm for the High Holy Day period. There is a tradition of reciting the La'ela, the double La'ela in Kaddishes, and this psalm of repentance up until Hoshana Rabbah, which is on Monday. So we have a couple more days to add it as a reminder that we are still in our High Holy Day period. We still have the opportunity to think about the year to come and the ways that we can make it a better place for us, and certainly that we can become better human beings as well. So page 59. L'David Adonai Orishi.
L'David Adonai Orishi. V'mirva. L'lehem anti l'robetu Adonai be'eretz chayim. Kavel Adonai chazat bi'amet. Libecha b'kavel Adonai.
Few announcements, just in case you haven't realized, we have Sukkot stuff going on. It's fun. It's a great holiday. Come join us. We have our Sukkot Havdalah under the stars and a sing-along tomorrow evening. 8 o'clock, we'll join for a Havdalah in the Sukkah and a little bit of singing in the Sukkah. I have been learning lots of different songs I asked Canner, how come we don't have a lot of famous Sukkah songs? Think about how many Hanukkah songs do you know right off the bat? Now think about how many Sukkot songs you know.
I found another one.
He found another one. So
I built a little sukkah. I made it out of skach.
I think we're starting to make them up now. Okay.
I am making them up.
Yes. In any case, we're going to do a little sing-along. It won't just be Sukkot songs. We'll have some fun just in general. But please join us. We'll be in the sukkah again 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And you can also have the mitzvah of shaking the lulav and etrog if you wish. We'll have that out as well. Don't forget Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah, finishing up our holidays, our high holy day period. Actually, Hoshana Rabbah we have as our final day, our concluding day of Sukkot is on Monday, as I just mentioned a minute ago. That is at 7:30 in the morning for our morning minyan. Tomorrow morning, 9:15 here as always, and 9 o'clock on Sunday morning for our normal. So it'll be our Sukkot Hol HaMoed service as well. But Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah coming Tuesday, 9:15. We will have our Shmini Atzeret service here in the sanctuary. Yizkor will be recited during the service. And on Wednesday, we'll have our Simchat Torah service at 9:15 in the morning. But before that, Tuesday night, come join us for we're gonna have our Simchat Torah celebration at 6:15. We'll have consecration with our first graders and kindergartners. Our first graders kind of missed the festivities of beginning their education last year with COVID going on, so we are going to acknowledge them. And there's a journey through the Torah with our IPRS students with special flags through the ages parade as part of our hakafot, as part of our dancing, and we will be safe. We will do this safely as we can with our Simchat Torah celebration on Tuesday evening again at 6:15, and then again the next day on Wednesday morning, come help make a minyan and observe Simchat Torah and do it all over again, as they say. We have a couple other things, please, to take note of. We have our Chavara survey went out, our Chavarot survey, getting up a new way to kind of gather together. In addition to the clubs that have been in the past, we want to add to them the opportunity to join together for things that we can do as a community in small groups. And you can check your weekly email for the link to the survey and read a little bit about what that's all about. We want your input, and we hope you'll participate. There's also a Brews and Schmooze kickoff starting on Thursday, October 7th, 5 to 8 at Big's Burger Joint off of 1604. This was a popular activity in the past, and it's just time to schmooze, and there are veggie options available, so you're welcome to come to that. And there is a teen and USY at main event Sunday, October 10th from 3 to 5 at main event in Austin. You can contact Jessica in the front office to receive the RSVP link if you'd like to go. And again, at 3 to 5, so that's exciting to be able to, you can come. Max, you can even be here and then go party hardy, right? For USY, right? In Austin, you get there. And finally, one last announcement we want to make sure you know about also for October 10th. There is a coat drive for Afghan refugees, coat and blankets, I believe. We're going to do a collection on October 10th, Sunday, from 9 to 12 here in the Agudas parking lot. Our IPRS students will be helping out. We're working with the San Antonio Jewish Federation, with the JCRC, to collect gently used or new coats, jackets, and blankets for the Center for Refugee Services. So please make sure everything's clean and in good condition. Coats can be any size, from children to adults, and we can help out the refugees that are coming into our community and need our support, certainly, and as the Jewish community comes together to give them that support. So that's Sunday, October 10th. If you're cleaning out your closets, perfect time to get rid of your old coats that no longer fit, and upgrade, if you will, but there are some people, if they're gently used, and certainly blankets, we need them for our Afghan refugee program. So keep that in mind as well. I think we'll conclude.
I have a Sukkot song.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
And you probably recognize it from a long, long time ago.
Okay. A long time ago.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. ושמחת בחגיך והיית אך שמח ושמחת בחגיך והיית אך שמח Catch your breath. Ya lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 lie. La 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
About Shabbat Shalom?
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey,
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom.
We're going to head out to the sukkah. You have an option. You can go straight, take the walkway forward towards the gate, and then make a veer towards the left and stay on the pathway. Or if you really want to, you can cut through the grass, of course, if you'd like. I'm going to take a different route so I can grab what we need, unless it's already in the sukkah. And we will meet in the sukkah in just a minute. We're just going to do our Kiddush and Motzi, so everybody has a chance to do that in the sukkah. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. We're glad you were here. Thanks for being with us.
Chag Sameach.